What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, it's your boy Mansa today for another video. And listen, we made it to 2024, and everybody knows how crazy 2023 was for gaming. So I wanted to kind of take the time, I did a full video on what we can expect to see as far as every game goes, rumors, confirmed games, release windows, everything that we expect to see this year. I did a full video on that, so make sure you check that out. But I wanted to also take the time to kind of break it up into the, the big three: Nintendo, Sony, Xbox. What can we expect to see from each company? We have different things to look forward to. Nintendo, maybe we get a new system this year. Xbox, we're expecting to finally see a lot of those games that has been promised and we've been looking for, expecting to finally see those. And then Sony, it's a little up in the air. There's a lot of things going on over there. So I just want to take the time to kind of break up and do 3 separate videos on what each company we can expect to see out of them in 2024. Now, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Today, we're going to be talking about Nintendo and what we can expect to see from them for this year. And I also hope to get 1,000 subscribers this year. So I do appreciate all the support. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. So with all that out of the way, let's get into it right now. So the first aspect of Nintendo that I want to talk about for 2024 is what can we expect to see from their first party? As as we can see with all the rumors and just from the game releases we've seen, from last year, we're getting a lot of remasters, we're getting a lot of remakes, we're getting a lot of ports, some other surprises and things like that. But first party's looking kind of dry. I mean, when you look at it, you can kind of tell Nintendo's gearing up for that next system. So what we do know for sure that's coming out this year as far as first party goes, we have Mario vs. Donkey Kong announced at the last Nintendo Direct, coming out on February 16th. And now this is a remake of the original GBA game of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Now, Mario vs. Donkey Kong does have other games in the series, but they decided to remake the original on GBA, and it is a cool little puzzle game. It has some roots to the original Donkey Kong back when Mario was just Jumpman, before Michael Jordan. But yeah, so this game, again, if you're just looking for something to pick up, a nice little puzzle game, it does look nice, updated graphics and everything like that. But if you're looking forward to it, you can check it out on February 16th. Then after that, we have a game that a lot of people are actually interested in, including myself, and we have Princess Peach Showtime game coming out on March 22nd. Now this game, it looks very interesting. When we first saw the teaser trailer, it was just Peach on stage like it was a play or some type of theater thing, but then we got a new trailer and it was showing her acting out as different people or different timelines based on her outfit. So there was a cooking Peach, there was a kung fu or karate Peach, there was a Lancer, old school old imperial or old English type of Peach or something going on with that. So again, we haven't seen too much from the game, but Princess Peach hasn't had a game since Super Princess Peach on the Nintendo DS, and that game, I guess some people liked it. I never played it, but this game looks to be pretty interesting as well. And then we also got another announcement for another remake, which was going to be Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So there's Luigi Mansion 2 Dark Moon that was on the Nintendo 3DS, and this is just, we got a window of summer of 2024. So Luigi's Mansion 3 did so well and is still considered one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch. So it kind of makes sense that Nintendo's looking forward to kind of bringing the whole franchise over. I think Switch has been good with bringing old fans as well as new fans of these franchises over, give them a complete graphical overhaul, add some quality of life features and things like that, and hey, you can still charge 40, 50, even $60 on some of these. So you're looking forward to that, you can check it out during the summer of 2024. Another remake we got an announcement for was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, a game that a lot of people have been looking forward to. It's super expensive originally on the GameCube, and with Super Mario RPG doing pretty well, and Paper Mario being a little dormant for a while, and this is obviously the successor, or spiritual successor to Super Mario RPG. So Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, we don't have an exact release date, but it will release at some point in 2024. And then lastly, for first party, again, this isn't a solidified release date of 2024, but people are expecting to see it this year with the release of the new system. So it might be a cross-gen game, and that is Metroid Prime 4. Now, people have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4. We got a teaser for it 7 years ago at this point. So the first year of the Switch, we got a teaser trailer for Metroid Prime 4, and people have been waiting for it. We had Metroid Prime Remastered last year. It sold really well, especially the physical edition. We're expecting 2 and 3 to also come out, maybe in a double pack. And then you have Metroid Prime 4. We're still waiting to see. Now, we don't have any clear indication if it's what's going on with it. There was some, rumors around they switched developers and everything like that, so we'll have to see, but people can expect to see something from this pretty soon. Now I want to move over to third party. Now third party is very important. Obviously Nintendo Switch and Nintendo as a whole, their main bread and butter is first party. No one really competes with Nintendo on a first party level when it comes to Zelda, Mario, technically Pokemon. There's a weird relationship there, but when it comes to third party, a lot of developers were really slow to getting on the Switch, but now we're seeing that to get some real bang for your buck when it comes to putting out a game and development game, you need it on the Switch. You need it on these handhelds. You need it in as many places as possible, because people on Switch are known to buy physical, they double dip and buy digital, they might buy it on, Xbox Game Pass, which can help with subscriptions and things like that. So it's very important for developers to try and get on these, handheld systems, Steam Deck, make sure you're on the Steam store, everything like that, because you want to be able to sell your game in as many places as you can. And the developers are really getting on this when it comes to the Switch. And when the Switch 2 comes out, I guarantee no one is trying to miss out on that money ever again. So as far as third party goes, we got a few releases announced already for January. For January 18th, we have Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and this game is a Metroidvania style, action platformer from Prince of Persia, from Ubisoft, and it looks really good. The graphics look great. It looks like a Switch game. With the success of Metroid Dread, I can expect this game to really sell pretty well, and I expect it to get pretty good reviews as well. So you can check that out on January 18th. Then the very next day on January 19th, we have Another Code 2 Memory. So this is a double pack of the Another Code game on the DS, and then also the sequel that came out on the Wii, but it never came out in the United States, believe it or not. So it's great for people that are, fans of this type of graphical novel style of video game. They'll be able to play both of them if they never played it, or people that did play it, and now you can play it with a localized version. So that's coming out on January 19th. Then on January 25th, we have Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, and believe it or not, this is the only physical version coming out for this game. Now it's announced for Game Pass and other systems, but Nintendo Switch, because of how much people buy physical games, is the only version that will get a physical version. So if you are looking forward to that, you're a fan of Capcom, you're a fan of Ace Attorney games, you can check out Apollo Justice, the Ace Attorney trilogy, on January 25th. Then moving over to March 8th, we have Unicorn Overlord, which just sounds kind of crazy, but it is a game from Vanillaware and is a, turn-based strategy RPG that a lot of people are looking forward to. So again, these RPGs, especially strategy games where people don't, want to hunch over a computer or sitting with a console on the TV, you can just play it in bed. These longer RPGs that take a while with drawn out battles and things like that, you could play it on Nintendo Switch. So that's coming out on March 8th. Then moving over to April 23rd, we have, and I always mispronounce this, but Euden Chronicle, I believe. Euden Chronicle, I guess. 100 Heroes, which is from the original developers of the Suikoden series back in the day. So they did a Kickstarter. They were able to raise over $3 million for this game at the end of 2022. So we can finally expect to see it. It is a traditional turn-based RPG, but there are other elements as well. You can have up to 100 people, as the title suggests, in your team, and you can use it to, build towns and then build armies and things like that. So definitely a cool game coming out on April 23rd. And then a few other games that don't have any release dates yet from third parties. We got Hollow Knight Silk Song. Everybody's looking for it. Every Nintendo Direct, people have taken that copium waiting for that to show up. We got Plucky Squire, which I've mentioned on the channel a few times, where it's that 2D and 3D mix, like platformer style coming from Devolver Digital. Still no solid release date on that. We have Deca Police from Level 5. Level 5 has a few games coming out. So we got Deca Police, Professor Layton, and Deca Police is a game that I'm looking forward to myself. It's going to be, takes those, detective elements, but also, turn-based RPG elements and battle and things like that. So that one's looking really interesting. And then we got Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. So still no solid release date on that either. Now I'm going to move over to the hardware. Now, again, nothing has been explicitly said by Nintendo, but we've been getting rumors, leaks. They've been having apparently these dev kits sent out for the next system. We've been having, demos they're showing at different shows like Gamescom and other things like that. So it's almost certain, just from the rumors, where there's smoke, there's fire, and based on what I said we don't have a clear vision of what is really releasing for the Switch. Are they going to do a lot of cross-gen titles? Are they going to do, they're not going to bend in the Switch at all, because we can see it's still making money. There's 130 million people on there, and you want to continue to feed off of them and eat off of them until your full system is, widely available. You don't want to just drop 130 million people. So Switch 2, we can expect to see this year. Now, some of the rumors on the release date, some people were saying, early 2024 or the first half. I don't know. It's possible. So it's already January. We haven't heard anything. I think we normally get like a February or March direct. So could they fit it in the first half? Possibly, but I think the other rumor that people have been shooting around is maybe we'll see it in September. And this I can see. September release, I can see. Let's say they announce it March. They get 6-month lead up time. You release in September, so you're kind of ahead of the game of, Xbox and PlayStation, because they're supposed to be doing some revisions allegedly this year. So you get a leg up on them, get it out, build up momentum going into the holiday season, and then start releasing a bunch of titles. So I think that is most likely to happen. Then there's other rumors like, it's going to be as strong as the PS4/Xbox One when those systems came out. It's going to have an LCD screen. There might be a digital only version for $400, then a physical and digital version coming out for $450. Again, none of this has been confirmed. I can see Nintendo doing multiple versions, but I do not think it will be a physical versus digital version. Nintendo still is like 50% physical. They sell millions of copies still physical, and I think having a digital only system would really hurt them. So I could see them doing a maybe a beefier version, and then maybe like a light version like they did with the original Switch, and then later down the line, of course, we'll get the OLED to kind of replace the LCD. I don't know if I'll do that. If they do a special version, maybe. But again, all that's kind of up in the air right now. And then I wanted to talk about what games can we expect to see when the Switch 2 drops. Now, a Zelda game, we just got one last year, Tears of the Kingdom, and we know those 3D Zelda games, they take about 4 or 5 years to kind of, really come out. The gap between Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, 5 years. The gap between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, 5 years. The gap between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, if you count the Switch and not the Wii U version, technically it was 6 years. So we can probably expect to see one, honestly, near the end of the Switch 2, believe it or not. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for a 3D Zelda game. Now, there are rumors around Mario Kart 9 possibly coming out. I mean, we've already seen Mario Kart 8 been selling for like 10 years. I think it is time to, have a new one. You want to have that launch title for the holiday, so I could see Mario Kart 9 for sure. 3D Mario is also rumored, maybe an Odyssey 2 or a new type of 3D Mario. I'm not sure. I think, next year will be the 40th anniversary of Mario, so I don't know if they'll kind of try and tie that into the 40th year. I don't think they want to just wait till 2025 to release it just to say, hey, it's the 40th anniversary, and get, you want to have a strong title at launch. We just got a 2D Mario last year, so I think a Mario, the movie just came out too. So you got Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Wonder, a 3D game coming out right after that. I think it makes sense. So we'll see that. And then the other rumor is people think, hey, Metroid Prime 4, cross-gen title. I mentioned it earlier in the video. I do not think they would leave that just on the Switch. I don't know if they will make a Switch 2 version per se, or if the system will just, and people were saying this with the backwards compatibility, will it just brute force, older games on the Switch to just run better, just have a better frame rate? Does it have the ability to do that? Nobody knows. When you make these handheld systems, you want to keep them affordable. It's hard to know what you can actually, spend money on and what capabilities you'll actually have. So again, Switch 2, everybody's putting out videos on it. I've kind of avoided it. I did a video just talking about what may happen, what do I want to happen, what's realistic and everything. So if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, go check that video out. But Switch 2, again, we'll just have to wait and see once Nintendo makes that official announcement. And then the last thing I want to talk about for Nintendo was the NSO service. So we've been getting a lot of different updates for it. Originally, it was just, original Nintendo system, Super Nintendo, but then we've added in Sega Genesis, and they've also added in the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So been seeing a lot of new, not just systems, but games also coming to the older system. So these have been kind of a drip feed. They kind of launch with, 8 to 10 games, and then they kind of drop like 1 or 2 here and there. Now, can we see another system on there? There's rumors, we might get GameCube. I don't know if they want to do that, only because they've been doing a bunch of these remasters that they're saying, hey, people still buying, Metroid Prime Remaster, people buying, Thousand Year Door, people are going to buy it. So do you want to just put the GameCube up there, but at the same time, Nintendo consumers are willing to double dip or triple dip? They'll play it online, they'll buy it digitally, they'll buy it physically, they'll do whatever. So, maybe it would make sense that, hey, you could play it on the GameCube, on the NSO, but then also you could play an updated version on the Switch that you can have physically, so you can kind of drive subscriptions, but also buy, the physical, because, Nintendo consumers aren't the same as everybody else. I don't think there's as much cannibalization when it comes to Nintendo's ecosystem. People know the value Nintendo games have, and they're willing to spend that money on it. So, could we see the GameCube? I think it's possible. People say the DS. I don't know how you do that unless you are very specific with which games you put on there. Now, the DS, obviously and famously had 2 screens on it, dual screen. That's what the DS stands for. So, a lot of games needed to use the capability of both screens. Now, there are certain games that you don't need to do that for, so could we see that? Or could they find out a way to kind of split the Switch screen in half, like digitally, like obviously not physically, but somehow do like a line across it and make it act like a DS would look like when you're playing it? Who knows? So we'll have to see. But the NSO, I think they're adding a lot of value on there, adding these new consoles on there, and then, keep adding games in there. Do I think we'll see the Wii and Wii U and all that? That's less likely. But I think GameCube and DS I think it's a pretty good prediction. Like, it's a safe bet, I think. I think it's a safe bet. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything we have confirmed, and also rumors and like speculation for Nintendo for the year 2024. Now, of course, a lot of these are confirmed and the rest are kind of up in the air, but we'll just have to see. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what can you expect to see in 2024? What do you expect to see from Nintendo in 2024? What do you think of some of these rumors that are coming out? Are they crazy? Do they have credence to it? Who knows? But y'all let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Check all the links in the description. Leave a like on this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.